How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. Yeah, a little bit of blended funky beer time in the form of Suarez Family Brewing. It's their domain. I have not had this before, but I was in the mood for a funky beer tonight, and I picked this up when I was actually up at Suarez Family Brewing not too long ago, and just been sitting. It's been about a month or so, and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. Crack that beer. So that's what we're doing. Very complicated stuff we do here. What does it say in here? It says domain, government warning stuff, and over here it says we blend domain to show the unique edges of our house character. Each iteration varies greatly from the last, as the brewers blend disparate threads of our oak-ripened country beer from our barrel cellar. I butchered that. Let's see. Batch number 2. Wouldn't that be that? You know, I don't know if the art changes from batch to batch. I don't think so, because you can see on the side there it says batch 2. It's kind of handwritten, so I believe the label is just kind of, the label is what it is, which is pretty damn fucking cool, to be perfectly honest with you. And then, yeah, so there's no ABV on it. There's no kind of information other than that they're doing a kind of blend. They call it threads, basically. Just different beers. They're taking stuff from their kind of cellar, and it could be in varying different barrels, kind of blending them together. We can get down with that. So let's see what this sucker has. Yeah, no idea what I'm about to get into, but I know I said I'm in the mood for a funky beer. I'm just assuming it's a funky beer because of what Suarez does, but we'll see what's what. What do we have there? I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. You know what I mean? It's a rich kind of peach color to it. If you look, it's just like screams like peach juice. Just under half a pinky finger of just off-white head. Soft, actually pretty sprightly carbonation, to be perfectly honest with you. It's quite hazy, so you can't really see into it all that well. But I can see kind of on the edges here, there's a nice kind of cascading carbonation, so I assume that's throughout the whole thing. She looks like a nice, rich, spillable beer. Yeah. She's like weird. She's hazy, but you can see through it. So anyway, it's not that weird. Let's get a nose on her. Yeah, just I'm getting. I mean, big, rich, dense kind of funkiness. You know, you get a little bit of wheat there. You're getting like apple vibes, like I typically do from kind of wild fermented beers or wild beers or funky beers. I always get this kind of apple vibe to it, but this one distinctly has like a cherry thing going on with it. Kind of like a fresh, not like maraschino kind of cherry, just an under-ripened kind of cherryness to it. And there's this soft, like almost like toffee caramel thing kind of floating around in there. Very, very subtle though. So you get that big, nice, rich, heavy, dense kind of funky tartness to it, but there's also the sweet component to it. So you're getting that nice kind of fruit component that means cherries for me, and then I get this nice kind of soft, like kind of caramel vibe. Quite nice. Let's dive in. Cheers. Wow, that's easy to drink. That's tasty. That's creepily drinkable. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Sure, I'm getting this earthy, dirty, kind of grainy maltiness to it in a very positive way. It sounds kind of negative when I put it that way, but it has this kind of earthy, it's not like funky horse blankety stuff. It's funky, but it comes off a little bit more kind of like truffle-y, kind of that earthy umami kind of dirtiness to it, which is kind of cool. The fruit portion of the show, the cherry thing, it's more of a nose thing. I get it slightly on the taste. Probably leans more kind of under-ripened, kind of pitted stone fruitiness to me more than anything else. There's a really nice, rich oak character to it. Not really all that vanilla forward. You get a soft vanilla from it, but it's got this nice, rich oak tannin to it. But it's the way the beer drinks. There's impact all around. There's multiple layers to the beer. It's very, very layered, very complex. But how it drinks. And I've said this before. I don't say it all the time because it's a rare trait in beer. It drinks like it's supposed to be inside of you. Super cryptic, super whatever you want to call it. There's some beers, it's almost, I think it's like a pH balance thing in the beer where it matches like the internal, like chemicals of a human body, that it just belongs, and that's kind of where this beer lands, and those beers just drink so well. I mean, the mouth feels super sultry. It's very soft, very subtle, very supple, but it's not like heavy or dense or creamy. It's not thin. It's right in that perfect kind of balance. The flavors are impactful, but all the edges have been rounded off to the point where there's nothing sharp to the beer. It's very soft. The oak just, I think, takes that to the next level and makes it even softer, and just ends up becoming such a cool, collected, and comfortable beer. It's nice. It's really nice. It's exactly what I wanted. I didn't know this is what it was going to be, but I was kind of hoping the beer would come off like this, and it's showing absolutely beautiful. This is a great beer. This is an absolutely delicious beer. It tastes, they talk about threads, they talk about their different barrels. It tastes like a blended beer, but it's all cohesive. And I know that's kind of like a contradictory term or contradictory statement, but you can tell there's multiple bits and pieces of what's going on, but it's blended so expertly. It comes off so connected, that it's not like just a bunch of individual kind of bits and pieces floating around. Now, that caramel thing I was talking about with the nose doesn't come through as much in the taste. The richness comes from more of that kind of dirty maltiness, like I said, that funkiness. But just, yeah, I mean, everything about it is just great, but that mouthfeel just sends it over the top. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. I can sit here and kind of ramble on. I'd probably just rehash a lot of the things I already said. So let's just cut to the chase. It's one of the better blended, funky, wild ales. I don't know, you want to put it in any of those groups? Let's put it this way. If we put it into any of those groups, would it be one of the better ones of those I've had as of late? Absolutely. Bagging availability, I want to say $15. $15 for, is this 15 milliliter? Yeah, 500 milliliter, I mean, 15. You know, for the trials and tribulations and the extent of what you have to do to produce this beer, I don't have a big problem with it. In a perfect world, it would always be cheaper, but I had no problem spending $15 on this beer. Brewery only. And leave you with, if you like what you like this beer, if you like funky beers, if you like wild beers, if you like barrel-aged funky beers, if you like blended funky beers, this is gonna get, you know, kind of up there as one of the best. I've had more impactful. I've had more beers like these that have more pizzazz to them. This is a little bit, it presents itself as understated, but at the same time, it's very complex. Kind of like Suarez as a whole, you know. So it's kind of a nice kind of capture, a nice little kind of snapshot of actually of the kind of, you know, bits and pieces of what make the brewery kind of churn. And even, you know, it kind of says it on it, which is awesome. I didn't even realize that. It's like, show the unique edges of our house character, and it shows the house itself. So that in itself is fucking cool. So if you like those kind of things, if you like pretty beers, this will definitely be worth picking up if you can get it. So, there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing podcast stuff, I go out and interview brewers and stuff like that, and people in the industry. So give that a listen, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a beer as pretty as this one. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.